And a warm welcome again to the big match. Today we make one of our trips into the third division and we're very well rewarded. It's a game of penalties, one very skillful goal and a gift goal right at the end. That was really what Watford against Blackburn Rovers added up to yesterday. We support that with Manchester United against Wolves, watched by the day's biggest crowd, 52,000, and the all-Midland clash between Birmingham City and Derby County. But first, it's a few miles down the M1 motorway to Watford for their third division game against Blackburn Rovers, who are in with a very good chance of promotion. For this game, Watford have had to make a late change. Ron Wigg is injured, and his place at number 7 goes to Mike Packer, and Andy Rankin is back in goal after missing a couple of games. The former Watford manager, Ken Furphy, brings a Blackburn Rovers side that has also had to make a late change. In the centre of the defence, John McNamee is injured. 19-year-old Terry Eccles comes in. As well as Ken Furphy, it's a return to Watford for their former star forward, Barry Endine, now in Blackburn colours. And as our on-the-ball goalkeeping chart showed yesterday, Rovers goalkeeper Roger Jones has not been beaten in 353 minutes. Watford have David Woodfield, the former Wolves defender, back in action after a depressing run with an injured knee. Also include former Palace player Ross Jenkins. The threatening weather from lunchtime onwards hasn't helped attract the big crowd, but now they're all settled in and wait for referee Keith Stiles from Barnsley. So Watford then kick off, defending the goal to our left. They are in the old gold shirts with the black shorts. Blackburn Rovers in the half shirts of blue and white with white shorts. In fact, we very nearly had a full start to the game because about 5 minutes ago there was a freak storm with gale force winds. Blackburn in fact came onto the field and had to go off again. Blackburn now with the throw, having a good run at the moment. They're now only 4 points behind the leaders in Division 3 with 2 games in hand. Quite the reverse for Watford. They've slipped to 16th and have lost their last 6 games, 5 of them in the league, as the ball now swings across here to Hutchins with a shot, and Rankin had to get behind that one. Ross Jenkins off now for the number 11, Farley. Farley now for Watford down the far side. Turned inside and a long and a hard shot there by Mike Packer. Came in because Ron Wigg failed the test. Packer, who normally is a defender, a fullback, but really showing quite a powerful shot there. So Jones for Bournemouth, for Blackburn rather, not missed a match this season. Woodfield losing out there, and it's Hutchins again, being chased by Butler. Back again for Parks. And Watford with a chance to get this away, and almost an own goal. But Rankin there to save it from under his crossbar. I think that probably came off Eccles for the corner for Watford. Both Colin Franks and Woodfield going up. There's Colin Franks. And Woodfield, in fact, has gone right into the 6-yard area. Ross Jenkins on that Blackburn goal line. Hit towards Mike Keane, and Keane couldn't quite get to it. Fazakerley could. And a throw to Blackburn. That looked very much like an unfair push by Packer on the Blackburn player, and the Blackburn player getting in likewise. Wellborn, back to Williams. Careful little chip forward there. Morrissey touching it on, and Fazakerley getting it away, but only as far as Keane. But that time the number 3, Arontoff, was there, and now it's with Parks. To Hutchins. Forward for Kit Napier, formerly with Brighton. Might have opened up a scoring position there, and there with a shot, and it's there! Well, there was certainly a deflection there, but it's Barry Endine, the man who is being congratulated. And a good left foot shot, a deflection, and Blackburn go into the lead. 1-0 with 6 minutes gone. And although there was that deflection off the Watford player, I think the credit for the shot must go to Barry Endine against his old club Watford. The Blackburn supporters who've come down on that league liner, that special train, some 600 of them, very happy indeed to see that one go in. Morrissey, a good header there. Watford now with the win very much behind them. Need to take advantage of that. And it's with Ben Arentoft, this Danish international who had a lot of experience with Newcastle United, with Hutchins again, who's already showing some lively form down that left wing. Got that across well, and Ranking needing to dive at the feet there, with the field going in just a little too viciously. Morrissey. Wellborn, a good jump. Morrissey. Keane. Played for Butler. In for Mike Keane again. Wellborn's right in there. Ross Jenkins with a chance of a header! And a good header and a very good save indeed. Connected beautifully with that long cross. And Jones, superb piece of goalkeeping right behind it. Offside it must be. There against Wellborn. A Watford player injured. There's Duncan Wellborn. Ken Furphy on the right, the Blackburn Rovers manager, formerly, of course, the Watford manager. Playing a lot of high balls down towards that Blackburn penalty area, hoping that Ross Jenkins can manage something with his height and jumping ability. It's time for Butler. And that, in fact, hit Ross Jenkins, and Keane went in, and that hit the Blackburn defender. Butler again, a deep and a good-looking cross, but just a little too high. But quickening up the pace there, and Blackburn get a goal kick. Williams. Butler. Keane, played down the line again for Butler to continue his run, and a deep cross again there towards Ross Jenkins. He got that time with his head, but he was about a yard wide of that post. Man who cost them £30,000 from Crystal Palace. But a very good piece of running there by Butler, played down the line for him by Mike Keane so accurately. And once more is Hutchins. A lot of lone running by this number 11, but now he's got Field there supporting him. Inside quickly for Parks. Field now, good combination. Field, oh, and he screwed that one wide. Well played, he's saying to Hutchins, who indeed combined very well with him at the start of that move. And Parks also played a part, and Field, who the manager, Ken Furphy, was telling me earlier in the week is deadly in the box, was anything but then on that occasion. So instead it's a goal kick for Watford, and Andy Rankin taking it. Parks. Franks now for Watford. As the whistle goes for half-time, a fairly undistinguished first half here in this third division game, with the one goal of the game scored by Barry Endine for Blackburn against his old club Watford, although there was a deflection out of the Watford defence. Scored after only 6 minutes, but still to come on the big match, the second half of this game, and of course highlights of two other top games of the day. But the half-time score here at Watford reads Watford 0, Blackburn 1, and we'll be right back with you in a couple of minutes. Welcome back as referee Keith Stiles looks at his watch and gets the second half away. Blackburn now defending the goal to our left, happily placed, a goal ahead, and indeed they've not been beaten in the league since October. 14 league matches, and in that time they've conceded only 8 goals. That's the sort of thing that Watford are up against. And the man they can bring on as a substitute, Blackburn, if they want to, in the centre there, John O'Mara, formerly such a great favourite at Brentford. Field was obviously pushed to the ground there. The referee giving a free kick to Blackburn. Aaron Toft ready to lift one right-footed into that Watford penalty area. Eccles has gone right in there, the big number 5, and that's aimed towards Eccles in fact, but it's Woodfield who gets it there. Parks tries to hammer it back, and now Watford a chance to break with Morrissey. Hayton, a rather acrobatic kick, and it might still go for Watford. A push there in the penalty area, and the referee has given a penalty. The referee has given the penalty as number 11 Farley was pushed to the ground, says referee Keith Stiles. Bound to say the referee was a good 30 to 35 yards away from that incident, but he had no doubts at all. He was away back in the centre circle, in fact. But here is a golden opportunity for Watford to pierce this very good-looking Blackburn defence. It looks as though it's Morrissey, Pat Morrissey, who's got the job. And a marvellous save! A tremendous save by Roger Jones. Well, they call in the best goalkeeper outside the First Division, and Pat Morrissey, I should think, would say I would agree with that. Jones, as we said at lunchtime in our On the Ball programme, has gone 353 minutes without being beaten, and only Joe Corrigan at the start of today's games could beat that. There he is, Roger Jones, the hero for Blackburn, the penalty saver. Parks now for Blackburn Rovers, wanting Hutchins to go, and Hutchins is motoring down that left, but it won't give him enough time to get to it because it was through to Andy Rankin. And it's once more with Woodfield. Hayden, Woodfield again, and now once more Blackburn on the break with Kit Napier. Crossed inside again towards Field, hit first time, yes! As he looked up, Tony Field, the little chip over the head of Rankin as he came out, into that Watford net, 2-0 to Blackburn. So 4 minutes of the second half gone, and what a very good first 4 minutes of the second half it's been, with the chance for Watford from the penalty which they scorned, and now Blackburn go 2 ahead. And now a corner to Watford. "17 goals now this number 8 Tony Field has scored for Blackburn this season, and very valuable goals indeed they've been. But now it's Watford putting on the pressure with the corner. Colin Franks trying to get one going, and it's still lobbing about there. Ross Jenkins nodded down there, and a deflection from the shot by Woodfield, giving Watford another corner. John Farley's going to take it. Curling in there once more, Woodfield and Keane are there. Keane got the head to it. But a goal kick to Blackburn, and Endine down in his own penalty area, holding his head and injured. And it's the moment for the substitute for Watford, Bill Jennings, who scored 11 goals for the reserves this season. And they're going to bring him on now in the hope that he can add a little bit of firepower to an attack that needs it now. 2 down. If my lip reading is right, it's Mike Packer who's going off. But certainly nobody on the Watford side at the moment wants to go, and Mike Keane now coming to tell Mike Packer that it's he who's got to go. So Packer will go, and Bill Jennings will come on. And it's with Morrissey. Farley couldn't control it. Keane was up there to support him, though. Farley, the short ball back for Williams. Played first time there towards Wellborn. And is this the chance? No, Blackburn still getting it away. It looked for a moment as though it was coming through for Jennings. Wellborn. And now it's Butler to Jennings. That's a fair-looking cross as well, but Jones gathering it well. Napier. Metcalf. And Franks for Watford. Jennings. And Morrissey. Bit of pushing and shoving there, and Morrissey battling away there, and the linesman is flagging. And the referee is going across to the linesman now. Will this be a free kick? Will it even conceivably be a penalty, or will it be a free kick to Blackburn? And I think he's given another penalty. He's given another penalty to Watford. Well, that must have been the push on Morrissey, and I'm wondering whether Morrissey will be entrusted with another penalty. That's 2 penalties Watford will have had in the first 10 minutes of the second half. And Watford showing their faith in Pat Morrissey. I wonder what possibilities are going through his mind. And that time he's got it in, and Roger Jones is beaten at last, and Watford get back into the game at 2-1. He changed his direction the second time, did Morrissey, and Jones gambled that he would go the same way, and Watford now get their goal. Watford 1, Blackburn 2. So the scorer and the beaten goalkeeper making this game wide open once more. Field and Morrissey, maybe that'll give Watford a little bit of hope now. Farley, it's got the crowd going a bit for them. For Zachary now for Blackburn. Woodfield, oh, and he missed that one, and Rankin had to come out quickly, helped by Franks. Parks with the header. Field once more getting in. But a goal kick to Watford. And certainly that was a crucial decision made virtually by the linesman and certainly influenced the referee. Hutchins for Blackburn. Field is there, and Field is onside. He's all right. Well, they let him go a long way, and he screwed that ball across the goal and beyond the post for another goal kick to Watford. Very difficult to shake off that ball in the area. Keane. Jennings chasing after it, but so too is Fazakerley. But Jennings winning it. Played back again for Duncan Wellborn. Heaton away for Blackburn. Morrissey playing very deep as Watford keep up this pressure now to Farley. That's not a bad cross as Ross Jenkins goes in and straight into the arms there of Jones. Made a lot of ground there, Jenkins. A good run and a good accurate header. Parks for Blackburn. To Field, scorer of their second goal. Still Field, what a great run! And the ball cannoned off a Watford player. A tremendous run, though, by Tony Field. Gathering pace all the time. Good piece of play there by Franks, and the cross stopped by Fazakerley. Butler turning it back once more. An acrobatic header away again by Fazakerley. It's with Keane now.
Jennings going in, and Watford hoping that something will come out of it, but finally screwed away there by Heaton. And now it's Hutchins, with Metcalf away on the right for him. Still with Metcalf. And the shot that is wide, giving the goal kick. Certainly a much better second half than we had first. And Williams now for Watford. They've got 10 minutes left now as Keane now takes it up. Jennings back to Williams, and there's the number 11, Farley going on. Farley hoping to get that across. And a good smothering save there by Roger Jones once more. Watford get another throw. Mike Keane's going to hurl another long one, possibly. No, he tries the shorter one instead to Farley. And a corner given. So Watford now wanting to keep this momentum going. Ross Jenkins again on that Blackburn goal line. Woodfield's gone up into the 6-yard area as well. Keane hoping to jump for it, but it was too high for him, and Hutchins with a chance to get it away. Goal kick. So now just about 5 minutes left. By that clock it says 6. Duncan Wellborn in there. Jennings, good ball there, played for Morrissey. Across again. This time Woodfield going in. Keane turning it back once more, and the number 11 just passed there by Farley. Six minutes left now. Blackburn under pressure. Watford hoping that they can end this run of defeats. But the score still standing at 2-1 to Blackburn Rovers. Jennings the substitute for Watford on the far side. Couldn't keep it in. Aaron Toft gets the throw for Blackburn. Butler again. Even spectators in the crowd there were picking the ball up. At least one of them picked it up quickly, threw it back, realising that Watford have got to get a move on with things now. Parks, though, in possession for Blackburn Rovers. Napier. Field. Another throw to Blackburn. Heaton taking it. Although now he leaves it for Barry Endy. Heaton. High and hopeful there towards the Watford penalty area. And there's a chance now for Napier! And he's got it in! The mistake there by the Watford number 2, Butler. He didn't control it at all. And Napier, there's Butler. He didn't control it. Napier came roaring in, scored the goal. And that makes it 3-1 for Blackburn Rovers, and virtually puts it out of reach of Watford now with only 4 minutes left. Watford 1, Blackburn Rovers 3. Well, they're going to stay happily to the end, but they are not. A mass exodus now by the Watford supporters. Napier, a back heel there for Hutchins. And now it's with Metcalf. Touched on again for Field. Oh, beautiful control there by Field. Crossed again. And Keane getting it away, but still not very far away. Wellborn for Watford. It's going to be in. It begins to look like 7 successive defeats for Watford. But here's Wellborn. Played out again once more to Morrissey. And a goal kick. Well, they've had a good day out from Lancashire. They've enjoyed the league line and that special train that brings the supporters everywhere, and they've seen their side win. Because win, most certainly Blackburn will now, with about 2.5 minutes left. Ross Jennings trying to get control. Played wide again for Williams. And Metcalf stopping him, even at the expense of a corner. Blackburn won't mind about that. Number 4, Stuart Metcalf. Morrissey again with the corner for Watford. Colin Franks again has gone up for it. Jones going for it, and not it, just wide once more by Jennings. Field, the long ball down the field that'll eat up a few more seconds, but Blackburn know, really, in their heart of hearts, they're already home. Referee looking at his watch as Williams once more has the ball at his feet, and it looks as though it's almost all up. Eccles back to Roger Jones. And that is the final whistle. Roger Jones really in many ways won it for Blackburn with a magnificent penalty saves and 1 or 2 to add to it. And certainly a happy return to Watford for Barry Endine, scorer of the first goal for Blackburn, captain for the day. And Blackburn, who were in a cup final 13 years ago, were in the first division 7 years ago, now seems from the third division happier days might be coming their way. A valuable victory here with a final scoreline at Vicarage Road, Watford, that reads Watford 1, Blackburn Rovers 3.
So Blackburn, strong in defence, with games in hand, they really look as though they might have a say in things at the top of the third division. And having seen the Watford fans streaming away before the end, I'd just like to tell you about the other side of that particular coin, because after that game, the Watford Supporters Club presented Chairman Jim Bonser with a cheque for £1,000. Those, I think, are the real Watford supporters. Now for his views on that game, Jimmy Hill.
Well, I must confess I was a minute or two late for that game yesterday in the rush from the studio. And if Watford want to know where there are some potential fans on a Saturday afternoon, I can tell them. They're all sitting in their cars around the streets of Watford under the pretext of doing Saturday afternoon shopping. But I can advise them that they would have enjoyed the afternoon at the match, because I expected probably a bit of a dour battle, but it didn't turn out like that. It turned out a really entertaining game. Plenty of goal-mouth action, no little skill from a few of the players involved. There were mistakes too, and it all made it quite exciting. But more than that, of course, we had the 2 disputed penalties. Not disputed too much, but nevertheless, let's have a look now and see if we can establish the real truth about those 2 decisions. The first one, of course, flying up the field there after the ball is young John Farley, and it's he who comes down. For Zachary is the Blackburn player, and you can see there, I think, a push, and that his foot does actually trip Farley. The referee was a long way away from that incident, but he pointed from, it was the longest point I've ever seen, but there's no doubt about that it was the correct decision. Now, Morrissey coming up to take the penalty. Roger Jones in goal. Does he move before it's kicked? He's running in now, and it's such a tight one that I think if you look at his right foot, you'll see it's fractionally off the floor. Just a fraction, illustrating the difficulty of making that decision correctly. And as he moves to the right, we can see the real beauty of that save. His hands there cuddling, clutching at that ball and holding on to it. And look at the gesture of annoyance there from the ball boy behind the goal. So that's cleared up number 1 penalty. What about number 2? That was the strangest decision in many ways that I've seen for some time, because it was a funny old offence. But the linesman was right on the spot, and without any question, it was he who gave that decision. We can see it now. Paddy Morrissey had a lot to do in the game yesterday in the controversial incidents, and it's he who's involved, number 9 there, and Barry Endine there. Now you can see, first of all, there's Morrissey. Can you see that grasp there? I wonder whether he was trying to pull his trousers down, and if so, what for? But it was a strange thing, but the linesman had no doubt about it. You'll see now the linesman standing firmly there to attention, quite sure. He's breathing a bit heavily, but I think he knows, despite that excitement, that he's got the right decision under his belt. And he says to the referee, that is a penalty. And a penalty it was. But now, of course, Paddy Morrissey had the problem of coming up and taking a second penalty, having missed a first. This time, Roger Jones goes the same way, maybe even a split second early. The ball boy's delighted this time, and of course Morrissey must have been very relieved to see that in the back of the net. But more than that, what about the game generally? Well, I thought there were as I said earlier, flashes of skill, and one I've selected for you from a player who impressed me very much indeed. He's a very direct dribbler, very clever, got 29 goals last season. I think he's got about 17 this, and this is as good a goal as I think he would have got in his career. Good because it shows that there is intelligence applied to the game as well as skill in the third division. This is Kit Napier, and as he lays the ball inside, fielders recognise that the goalkeeper is out of his goal, and he chips it instead of shooting. 99 players would have done that from that position, but watch how sharply it comes up, in case you want to be convinced. Now, he saw all that while he was looking to the right as the ball came across. And there he is, excited at that goal, and a really first-class goal, probably as good a one, maybe, as we shall see this season. But what about Watford? Well, for me, they're a team that have lost confidence, and you could see the difference yesterday, that Blackburn were expecting to win that game, Watford suffering from their run of defeats. But they've got to get that confidence back. I think there's some talent in the team there, and if their confidence comes back in the next few weeks, I think they'll get themselves going up the table again. Blackburn, very impressed, strong defence, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of ability.
Well, our second match today gives us a few highlights from, I suppose, what is the team of the moment, Derby County. But they were hard hit by injuries when they went to St Andrews yesterday to play Birmingham City. The pictures come from ATV. The commentator is Hugh Johns. Birmingham City are in the dark shirts.
Taylor hooking it in. Bolton's come off his line. Lost it, Francis! And Bolton got a piece of it off the line by Durbin. Didn't come down. Taylor to try it. Now Pendry. And Bolton again, struggling as he came off. Martin, in there again. Latchford up. Nobody to pick up the crumbs. Well, that was a rousing attack by Birmingham City. And Colin Bolton did fantastically well to get a tiny piece and deflect the shot from Francis. Durbin finally knocking it off the line. There's the free kick. Taylor, as Birmingham line up in the box. Hatton, Latchford. Big John Roberts is in there as well. Hatton gets it down. Gemmell, and it was strongly struck for Bolton. Oh, Webster, a terrible mistake. Latchford, and he scored! Oh, what a ghastly mistake by Webster, and Latchford makes it 1-0. 30 minutes into this first half. Well, there was a case of Webster and Bolton trying to take the mickey out of the Birmingham players, passing it backwards and forwards. Then Webster makes the final blunder. Latchford knocks it in the net. Kevin Hector couldn't get there. Pendry, short for Taylor, needs to play it out. Perry. Durbin didn't quite come to Davis. It's Campbell now. Neatly for Francis. Latchford. And a back pass. This has come to Hatton. Is this goal number 2? Well, it isn't goal number 2, but it might so easily have been. And it would have been given to Hatton by a Derby error, just in the same way as the first goal was given to Latchford by a Derby error. Nish, well taken out by Page. Break on here for Francis. Nish steaming to get back, and did that very, very well indeed. Good classic play then. McGovern. Sims. Stretched wide on the right is Webster. Faced by Taylor, so it's Gemmell. Kept his feet through one tackle, couldn't do it through 2. McFarlane got there well. Good ball from Page. Taylor. Getting in behind him. McFarlane has come away to meet him. And that's Francis, he's got to get one. He has. Trevor Francis. It's 2-0 to Birmingham. 4 minutes into the second half. And the crowd rising to Trevor Francis, who's had a thin time this season. Looking back on that one, a beautiful ball out from Malcolm Page. Gordon Taylor doing absolutely the right thing, going hard down the line. Sucked McFarlane down to the middle. the cross ball to Francis's boot, and scoring was relatively easy after that.
Well, that meant 2 priceless points for Birmingham City. It takes them 2 off the bottom of the First Division, with Stoke City and West Bromwich Albion beneath them, so it's a fair old Midland tussle there against relegation. But now it's time for your letters, and the first of all we go back to an incident in the game a fortnight ago between Wolves and Liverpool. And it was a bad tackle by Liverpool's Larry Lloyd on Derek Dougan, and indeed we condemned him for it. But a number of you wrote praising Derek Dougan for the way that he controlled his feelings. M. Evenden of 25 Pendarves Road, Rains Park, London, SW20. P. Stevens of 17A, Sydenham Park, Sydenham, SE26. Mrs. Frida Matthews of 27 Surrey Hills, Box Hill in Surrey, were some who had a good word for the do. Jimmy.
Well, it's worth remembering, of course, that Derek Dougan, as chairman of the PFA, carries an extra responsibility, a responsibility to set an example. And you can see that he really was badly mauled there by Lloyd, enough to get any player hot under the collar. But you'll also see that while other players get excited, Derek Dougan walks away in statesmanlike manner. A fine example.
Yes, an example, I suppose, to anybody, wherever you might be playing. But we've got a nice letter here now about Chelsea's David Webb. It comes from Anne Henderson of 7 Vibart Gardens, Upper Tulse Hill, London, SW2. And Anne mentions that we explained why John Toshak always wears a short sleeve shirt for Liverpool. But she asks, why is David Webb the only Chelsea player not to have a number on his shorts?
Well, Anne, quite simply, it's because it's the only pair that fit me. I'm rather large around the buttocks, and playing a few positions that I have at Chelsea, they're the only pair that I can use in every position and know they're going to fit.
So we move on now from David Webb's buttocks to last week's cup ties. And Mick Elliott of 114 Manor Place, London, SE17, is a great Millwall fan. But he was playing last Sunday afternoon, so he missed their great cup tie victory at Everton. A lot of Millwall fans, in fact, have asked to see those goals again. And a save that they saw from Brian King.
Right, and Buckley again. Good cross. Harper! He'll get it the second time. No, he can't! Which Dunphy takes to Cripps. It's there! Wood going up, and that's the second, and that settles it.
Well, that was great for Millwall, but what about Reading and their fine draw at Sunderland? Mr. R.J. Hearn of 34 Bitton Avenue, Tilehurst in Reading. We've got Linda Norris, Sheena Sharp and Jean Middleton of 26 Eldart Close, also Tilehurst in Reading, and 12-year-old Richard Wilcox of 15 Sycamore Road, Reading in Berkshire. Wondered if they could see again the goals from that 1-1 draw that Reading got at Roker Park.
Floating in Montgomery, and it could be, it is. And Chappell is the man, I think. Les Chappell, the man who scored it, his 13th goal of the season. Now, Hughes, and away by Wagstaff. Hughes to push it back. Tuart's there, and Death fumbles Tuart. Yes!
So there we are. Sadly, Reading, though, were well beaten in the replay at Elm Park on Wednesday night. Next, own goals. Do you remember a couple of weeks back that I couldn't remember a televised game where a player scored 2 own goals? Well, blow me, it happened that very weekend when Ben Embry of Barnet scored twice against his own side in the match at Yeovil in the Southern League. And believe it or not, Westwood Television had a film camera there. As 11-year-old Tom White of 9 Milton House Mansion, Shacklewell Lane, Dalston E8, and G.D. Burleson of the Summit, Pitney Hill, Langport in Somerset pointed out to me. So here we go, 2 own goals in the same match and on record as well. Barnet in the dark shorts and the ball just cannoning off Embry's knees there, so he was very unlucky there. That was 1 own goal. You've got to be very quick, in fact, to spot the second one down there at Yeovil. The ball crosses back a crane from the right-hand side. And as it comes across, as I say, you have to be very quick, but take it from me that again came off the Barnet player, Ben Embry, poor old Ben, and that was 2 own goals in one match that was actually, in fact, on television. I can't remember that happening before. But before we move on, just a reminder now of the new address for the big match, because we move this weekend to our new studios alongside the River Thames close to Waterloo Station. So the address caption now reads, The Big Match, London Weekend Television, London SE1 9LT. Let me give it to you again. The Big Match, London Weekend Television, London SE1 9LT. Right, last match today, and it's Manchester United against Wolves. Wolves who'd earlier knocked United out of the Cup, but now it was the chance for revenge, and indeed badly needed by United, so close to the bottom of the First Division table. 52,000 at Old Trafford yesterday, including the Granada cameras. Commentator Gerald Sinstadt, Manchester United are in the dark shirts.
As though it was put out by Monroe, and throw to Manchester United. Macari. In comes Martin. Just a touch by the goalkeeper. First time they've really genuinely caught the Wolves' defence, and they were all there on their heels. Martin so nearly made it. Just a touch by this man Parks that prevented it. Morgan. Macari. Ball ran away from him when it dropped at his feet. If he'd been able to kill it, he could have turned on it and had a better target to shoot at. Still in. Martin. Bacher. And that's fallen nicely for Macari. McDougall on his own in the middle. Penalty? Yes, it's been given. Well, some Wolves players could be in trouble if they don't calm down. But there have been a lot of tumbles in that penalty area, and this time the referee is sympathetic to Manchester United. And Bobby Charlton, who took on the responsibility for the spot kicks against West Ham, George Best, having previously scored from the spot for United earlier in the season, now takes this one. No trouble. Bobby Charlton, capable of hitting the ball very, very hard, just places this one. Goalkeeper starts to go one way, and by the time he sees the ball going the other way, has no chance. One 0 then. 12.5 minutes of the second half gone. Daly. Morgan. Martin just found a yard of pace that he needed. Well read by Shaw. A rather wild kick by Shaw too. Referee has a word with him. Gives him the benefit of the doubt that it was accidental. Jefferson. A wild challenge by Young. Morgan. Graham, the through ball, well cut out by Jefferson. McDougall was in full stride. Charlton's throw. And well saved again by Parks, as Forsyth came in there to make a surprise extra man. Manchester United beginning to buzz a bit again. McDougall a good header. It's come for Graham. Jefferson, and Wolves have got it clear. But Martin has it now for Young. Akari pulled that down well. Morgan. Now he's dangerous. The ball stuck with him well. And that's the 10th corner to Manchester United. Morgan to take it. Bad corner. Buchan with Kindon chasing him. Akari getting away from Jefferson, Shaw going after him, and he's brought down by Jefferson. Graham to Morgan. McDougall to Charlton! Here it comes again from the free kick, played by Graham, nodded down from the cross and banged home by Bobby Charlton. A goal in the real old Manchester United style, scored in the inimitable Bobby Charlton manner. Graham to Morgan, nodded down well by McDougall and put in inimitably by Charlton. 2-0 now. Morgan. Enormous collision there between Hegan and Morgan, and Hegan throws mud at Morgan. They swing at each other. Referee letting it all go, just a warning word as he goes by. Play continuing. Martin looked out for a corner by Jefferson, might just as easily have gone whipping under the bar. Wolves rattled by those two quick goals. Tommy Doherty no doubt feeling a good deal happier now than he was half an hour ago. Martin. No deflection, it's a goal kick. Buchan again. Now Charlton. McDougall. That'll be Monroe's. Daly playing it on to McCalliog, but Buchan in supreme control there. The crowd now willing to cheer at every move. Buchan has lost it. Hegan, very clever chip indeed. Masterly bit of opportunism. Took it so well. 2-1, scorer Danny Hegan. Comes out of that situation, sees Stepney off his line, and without hesitating to set himself, drops it just over Stepney's head into the back of the net. 2-1.
2-1, a valuable victory there for Manchester United. That's it again. Hope you've enjoyed the show. To remind you, though, that the next football on ITV is Wednesday night when we have Scotland versus England. The highlights from that game at Hampden Park at 10:45 only on ITV. We leave you, though, with another contender for our Golden Goals competition that comes up in a few weeks' time. And this week, it's Brian Robson's goal for West Ham against Manchester United at Upton Park.
Robson hitting a goal!